I'm ready.
All right, Coach, just how's the intensity been? How's the energy level been this week at practice going into Wake Forest?
I think the last 2 days it's been good, and that's encouraging. I think these guys are, they're very resilient, and that we talked about that at the press conference on Tuesday, and just the fact that a lot of these guys that are playing this year are the same guys that went through that season last year, that came so close so many times, and week after week they came back, kept battling back, and they'll battle back again this week, and they'll give their very best effort. And I thought our guys played hard on Saturday. They were trying. We didn't perform very well, and so we got to do a better job coaching these guys and do a better job performing our fundamentals, and I'm confident that we'll go play our best.
You mentioned last week, or last year I should say, Wake Forest, one of those teams you saw. How do you think that familiarity with Wake Forest, you've been playing them the last 2 years, is going to help you guys?
It's both a blessing and a curse. To have some kind of an idea of how they'll attack us, attack our defense, and have some kind of an idea about how they're going to line up on defense against us, I think helps us develop a game plan. But they have the same familiarity with us, and they know kind of the things that we've got planned that we've gone at them with the last 2 years, and you can only draw up so much new stuff. We do what we do, and we're just going to have to do it better.
Whatever you got, Ken.
And Coach, we talked a little bit yesterday about Wake Forest's offense. They have a very big offensive line, all 300-pound players starting, and their quarterback's known for 1,000 yards already this year. What are some of the keys to try to contain that Wake Forest offense?
And that's kind of a resounding theme. We're playing these teams. They got some big offensive lines. Everybody does now, and that certainly is tough when you got guys that are undersized and trying to outmuscle them and outman them. And but number one, we got to stop the run. We didn't do that in the second half on Saturday, and it hurt us. And they're running the ball better right now than they have in the 3 years that Dave's been the coach there. They got the best Wake Forest team that they've had since Dave's taken over. He's really doing a nice job. That whole staff is. I think they're just 135 yards away from matching their rushing total from a year ago. So they've done in 7 games. Just about in 7 games what they did in 12 games last year. So they're running the ball better. We're gonna have to do a good job stopping the run and then try to get some heat on them. If we can sack them, that'd be great. But just to make them throw the ball on time or hurry the throw, that'll help us play good defense.
And the Wake defense, we see that they play a 4-3, and their 2 defensive tackles are both 290 pounds. Last week you played against a very big nose tackle for North Texas. What are some of the challenges and ways to address a 4-3 in your option?
They do some multiple things with their fronts and do a really good job. They did a nice job against us last year, and they have a good plan, and they've got good players and are very well coached. The staff has got some experience playing against this offense, so and not just the last 2 years against us. Dave Cohen, that's on that staff on defense, was the defensive coordinator at Delaware, and we faced off with him when I was at Georgia Southern, and then again at the other academy, and so he's got experience. And several of the coaches, Coach Higgins, who's on the offensive side, coached at the Citadel and worked with Bob Bodine, who's on our staff. So they got some familiarity with it, and I think that helps them develop a plan. And it's not so much, just the scheme, but as you mentioned, those players, they're tough to block. They're big to get movement on those guys. So we've got to do some things where we get a chance to read them or get the ball on the edge where we don't have to just hammer them, knock them back every single play. But bottom line is we're going to have to block them, and it's a challenge because they are pretty talented. They got that Duke Ejiofor. Everybody in the ACC is talking about him. He's got so many tackles for loss, and a Lee kid that's a linebacker. I think the two of them together got 23 tackles for loss or something like that. That's a lot. That's a lot of plays by 2 guys. So we got plenty of work cut out for us.
And you've got 2 young cornerbacks out there we've enjoyed watching play, Elijah Riley and Marcus Hyatt. And it's almost, they're learning while they're playing. You can tell, but it's fun to watch them grow with each game and experience. What's it like watching them and coaching them?
That's what's fun about coaching, is seeing those guys develop, and seeing these young guys get better each time they play. You just were talking to James Nautigal, and he's a guy, Kenny Brinson, several young guys that are out there on the defense right now. Cordero Davis, getting playing time and getting better each time, and pretty soon they'll have enough snaps under their belt that they're going to be veteran players and really be able to hone in on those skills. So those guys have done a nice job. Hyatt, being a little bit older, I think, just has a little more confidence, but Elijah has so much ability that he's made some plays already, and he should have plenty of confidence.
That's great. Coach Jeff Monken, best wishes from all of us at the American Legion on your game on Saturday down at Wake Forest.
Thanks, Ken.
Our pleasure. Ken Kraetzer for Sons of the American Legion Radio at West Point.